Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 20 playthrough with the Phillies in the playoffs in this 2041 season. And I said last episode that I was hoping we would come back and maybe have a Game 4 clinching situation where we would be able to be the ones clinching at home to move on to the League Championship Series. And that's how it's gone, and I didn't really expect that. I thought, even though I hoped it, I thought Colorado was going to be a tougher test for us than usual, I guess, in the last couple seasons. But so far, I think we've gotten some lucky breaks. Colorado's not played up to what I thought they were going to be offensively. And we are in a clinching situation in Game 4, and we're going with Zach Thompson, which might even be better. But I'll give a brief recap, I guess, of how the series has gone, and then we'll get right to the game. So we're up 2-1. The first game in Colorado was one of the strangest games I've ever played through. We wound up losing 4-3. Of all of these games, of the 3 games that we played, well, outside of Game 2, we probably should have won this one. You know, I think Colorado should have won Game 3 because we didn't really play that well. But Game 1 was very, very frustrating. We wound up losing in the 9th inning. We were up 3-1, really holding Colorado. Pete Parker came through, had a great start, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 9 Ks. But in that 3rd or 9th inning, we had an error, a walk, and a home run given up by Hadakiyama. No, I guess he gave up a walk and an error and then a home run, and that's how we lost it. It was very disappointing. And on the Colorado side, they went with their number 1 starter, this Billy Peck. He had 9 walks in the game, and those were not intentional walks. Those were all straight-up walks. He walked in. I think 2 of the 3 runs we scored were through him walking the run in. I haven't seen a poor performance from a pitcher in a game in terms of walks since I've played this game. I can't remember anyway when I saw somebody throw 9 walks, a starter throw 9 walks and stay in the game. But then we came back in Game 2, won 3-1. Woolard had a great start, was dominating actually. I think he struck out, 11 in 6 1/3 innings. Had a great game. And then Game 3, we were really down. I went with Barbarossa. He gave up 3 runs fairly early in 5 innings. I thought we were going to blow it. Kondashera came in, gave up a run. So we were down, I think 4-2. What was that? No, we were down 4-2. That's right, in the 7th, and then we made it 4-3, and then we scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd or 8th, to clinch it and win 6-4. And Hadakiyama, since that first outing, he's had 2 back-to-back saves. He's probably tired though right now. Yeah, he's slightly tired, so I may not be able to use him in a close game if it comes to it in Game 4. But that's where we're at right now. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Looking at the lineups, I'm probably going to keep everything the same, even though we're going up against a lefty. I think Steve Bond has been pretty decent in terms of his lefty-righty splits. I'm going with him. Hopefully Tupper can show some power in this series, but we don't fare as well against lefties. But this guy, he's not the... he's a 2.5 star. He's a young guy. He's not going to give him a whole lot of innings, though. If we get to him early, then we may have a good chance. Although Colorado's bullpen is I think, a little bit better than ours in this matchup right now. But let's go ahead and get it started. We are once again in Philadelphia. It would be nice to clinch this thing at home. So I'm going to play a weak shift on this first batter, Taylor. He's had a pretty decent series, I think. I didn't check his numbers right then, but Thompson, I would like to see him come through. I'm not sure how good he was in last year's playoffs. I don't think he was all that great, if I'm remembering right. And he gets Thompson to swing and miss. Or, not Thompson, sorry, Taylor. And that brings up Steve Martin. And that's a hard hit ball. That's going to be trouble. Looks like he's going to stand up double for him. Man. All right, so we got runner in scoring position already with one out, and Brandon Kinsler Jr. up. I'm pitching him straight away. Oh, and he hits him. Man. And now probably their most dangerous pitcher or batter, even though he struggled, Trujillo, coming up. It's a 1-2 count. Strikeout would be nice here, let me tell you. And it's a dribbler to Thompson, and he goes nowhere with it. And he's going to some indecision. Everybody's safe. So bases loaded now, one out. I'm playing the infield in, even though this guy has some power. Just got to hope we get lucky. I feel like this could easily get away from us, and that's going to be what's happened. So that's going to score at least 2, probably 3. Nope. Runner holds at second or third. So Thompson really struggling early. And I'm going to play the infield in again. There's just one out. Don't know what else to do here. And he gets him to swing and miss. And now Josh Flannery up. 2-2. Count to him. And he swings and misses. He strikes out 3 in the inning, but gives up 2 big runs. So let's hope we can get to this pitcher real quick. Starting off, Bond's got a full count going early, and he draws a walk. I don't feel like testing this catcher's arm because I'm just not having a good success rate playing out these games. Oh, and that's a wild pitch, so not going to have to steal anyway. Bond's going to wind up at second. Gutierrez now really in the hole after being up 2-0. He's 2-2, and he's going to swing and miss. And this is where we're going to have some trouble because now we got a bunch of lefties coming up. And that's a liner. That's Bond's going to not come home. He didn't. Looks like he hesitated. And so now Tupper is going to have to come through. It's a 1-0 count. And he hits that one hard. Is it going to stay in the ballpark? It looks like it will. So it's going to get Bond in. So we've halved the lead. It's 2-1. Pritchard on base. He's got some speed. I'm going to run and hit. I said I wasn't going to test this guy, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And he's going to be in there easy. So now Warlick, who is not as strong against lefties, and he strikes out to prove the point. So we get a run back. So now let's hope Thompson just settles down, gives us a few more scoreless innings. That would be ultimate situation. That's a liner to Gutierrez at short for 1 out. Pitcher up. Pitchers have been. I didn't mention that either. Pitchers have been hitting pretty good in this game or in this series. Woolard actually had a 2-run home run to win his game in that second one, game 2 that we won 3-1. So still playing Taylor to shift. He struck out his last time up. It's a full count, and he strikes him out again. So that's 4 strikeouts now for Thompson. And here's where we struggle, I think. Vega, not really that solid against lefties, typically. And that's going to be a grounder to second. And 1 away. Now Norman up. He's got a good count here, 3-1. He draws a walk. Unfortunately, Norman, though, doesn't have any speed. So Koopman, who's hit 400 in the series, I'd like to see him stay hot. He's typically been a pretty good playoff player. Now Thompson, who has good contact, this could be a good thing here. And he lines one out to center, and even though there's 2 outs, we stay alive for Bond. It's 2-0 count, and he jams him, pops him up. An error would be nice here, but we won't get it. All right, so still 2-1 after 2. Now Thompson facing Martin, full count. He's had a few full counts here in this game already. And that's a fly ball to right. Warlick there for the out. And now Kinsler Jr. up. Another full count. And he walks him pretty easy. Trujillo 3-1. And he hits to the second. I don't know if that's going to be enough to turn it. Nope. They got the lead runner, though, at second. So 2 away, 1 on first for Bedwell. 2-1. Bedwell's got some power. But it looks like he pops him up. Shallow center field. Bond there to make the out. All right, so we're still 2-1, bottom of the third. This guy's pitch count's getting up there a little bit. Although we're at the bottom of the inning, or bottom of the lineup for us. But all right, Gutierrez with an infield hit. Now Pritchard. No, I'm sorry, we're at the top of the lineup for the most part. I forgot that Gutierrez was batting second in this game. Oh man, that's going to be an easy double play. Looks like. So wasted that hit, and now Tupper 0-2. And he swings and misses. All right, so we're 3 innings down, still 2-1. And already 57 pitches for Thompson, so it's going to be a struggle to get him through maybe 6 innings. And that's going to be a leadoff hit for Colorado. Josh Flannery up, 2-0 count. And it's another hit. And that's not going to get the runner over to third, but one of the things you may have noticed if you've been watching a lot of these playthrough games, I've stopped playing double play depth. It just seems like you get burned too many times. They find the hole, and it's just not worth it. So that was a grounder to third. They got the runner at second, but not able to turn the double play. So now the pitcher up. I'm going to play that infield in. I wouldn't be surprised if they run. Nope. Why did he not go to second on that one? So they do get the out. So there's 2 away with Taylor up, who's struck out twice already. And he strikes him out again. But that's a tough inning for Thompson. It may be a struggle really to even get him through 5 innings in this game. Weak grounder from Warlick, he's out. I think we need to get this guy out, this Bernal, because we're not matched up well against lefties at all. All right, so Norman up, 2-2 count. And I tell you, I've been doing a lot of debating with Norman. I think I am almost certain to be trading him this offseason. I don't think he's really worth the money that he's going to start asking in arbitration. And if I can get something for him, I'm ready to move on from him. I think there are better defensive catchers out there. His offense is just really subpar. It hasn't been anything spectacular. Hard hit ball from Kinsler there, and I think the last time I looked at his arbitration estimate, it was $15 million, and the guy's just not worth it. And a grounder to Trujillo, but he's slow throwing it. I guess that was the animation there, but it looked like he almost beat the throw. So we got Koopman up, 3-1 count, and he's going to draw a walk. Oh man, this is. I'm going to let him hit. I think he might ground in a double play, but no, he doesn't. He gets a hit. That's his second hit of the game. Anytime you see a pitcher with that kind of contact rating, which was 10 against lefties, I think you got to go for it. Now here's Bond. Hopefully he won't strike out. He pops him up. Looks like shallow center. Gutierrez, 2-2 count. He really needs to do something here, and he can't. And it's going to be up to Pritchard, but they do bring in a righty pitcher. I don't know if that's going to matter. It's a 1-2 count. Pritchard has really been underwhelming to me this year. And he strikes him out. So Colorado's bullpen, even though I wanted the guy out, they've got a long stretch of innings here to cover. Thompson at 77 pitches. Unless he starts to struggle, I'm hoping he can get through this 6th inning. And that probably isn't going to be a good start for it. So a home run to deep center field, and it's 3-1. Now Santa Cruz up. It's a 1-2 count. And that's a hard hit ball. 2 hits right away. I'm going to go visit the mound just to make sure. He's got a full count going here. And it's a liner to left. 1 away. And that one might get through. Yep. Runner's not going to move to third, but dang, that's the 8th hit of the game. And now they got a pinch hitter coming up. 3-2 count. And he strikes him out swinging. And now this is Taylor, who has, struck out 3 times, I think, or at least twice. Can't remember if he struck out his last time up. He might be ready to hit it this time. And it's going to be a pop-up to left, it looks like. Nope, center. So Bond was there to get it. So we're really in the hole now. Bottom of the 6th. Down 3-1. They are bringing in another reliever, a lefty. Tupper batting. Home run would be nice here. He's got some power. He's about one of the few guys on the team who has true power. But that's going to be an easy out. Grounder to second. Warlick up. Looks like he's swinging on the first pitch. Grounder to second. And it's starting to look like we're going to have a Game 5 in Colorado. So 1-2-3 inning, we go to the 7th. I think it's time to take Thompson out for sure. I'm going to bring in Dean. He hasn't gotten a look at, I don't think, in this series. Let me see if he's pitched at all. No, he hasn't pitched yet. He's a pretty good hard-throwing pitcher. He does have some movement issues. He can give up the home run occasionally. But hopefully he's got enough to get through this inning. But already 3-0 to Kinsler. Well, he's swinging. He had the green light. I did not expect that, even though as good a player as he is, he's not the player that he was a few years ago. And that's going to be a grounder to second. So Dean does his job. But we're running out of outs. Bottom of the seventh inning stretch, still down 3-1. They're leaving this lefty in there. Ian Norman up. Ian Norman hitting 273. He's got a full count going here. He popped up his last time up. He draws a walk. I'm doing some deliberation. I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be Courting in for Norman. And he's going to be the catcher now. Courting has pretty decent speed for a catcher. And what it's going to get me, I don't know, because he's not going to steal for sure. But I'm hoping that Koopman can get a hit here. And he gets it, an infield hit. So runners at first and second, no out. And that's the thing. Kinsler Jr.'s defense is at 1 right now, rated at third. Not good at all. So Dean, the pitcher up. Who am I going to bat now? That's a good question. Barajas against... now they got that lefty in there. They're going to keep him in there. Barajas shows that he's pretty good against lefties, so I'm going to give it a try. All right, so he's going to be swinging. It's 2-2 count, though, and he's not going to be swinging. He strikes out looking. And that brings up Bond. They're staying with the pitcher here. And that's going to be trouble. Down into the corner. It's going to bring in 1 run. But that's all it brings in. So Bond with a double drives in a run. It's 3-2. And now Gutierrez, 1 out. He just needs to put the bat on the ball. And it's 1-2 count, and he hits it deep. That's going to bring in the run for sure. And it's a tie game. 3-3. Good inning for us so far. And they're staying with this guy, which at this point, we don't really have any good righty outfielders on the bench. So we're going to have to go with Pritchard. And he lines it to left. And then I'm going to go for it. This is probably going to be my only chance. And he scores. Bond all the way from second to score. And it's 4-3. Philadelphia. And they finally bring in Chad Sanders. Probably stayed just a little bit too late with that guy. So now it's just going to be up to our bullpen to see if we can hold it. And Tupper cranks that one deep. Is that going to stay in? It's out. A 2-run home run from Tupper, and we're up 6-3. Great inning. Unbelievable that he was able to do that. Now we got Warlick, who's dangerous against right-handed pitchers. Let's hope he can get on base. Keep it going. And he swings and misses. But a great inning, 5 runs. We jump ahead now 6-3, and I think I'm going to bring in Joe Scott at this point and hope that he does what he usually does. We've got a dangerous hitter in Bedwell coming up. It's an 0-2 count. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use Hadakiyama today. He's pitched in all 3 games. Oh, and it's a wild pitch. I think he's going to make it. He swung, struck him out, but the catcher could not hold on to it. So that's the danger sometimes you run into. Quartang, not the greatest defensive catcher. Grounded to Gutierrez, and doesn't matter. They turn the double play. Good play defensively. Now we got Flannery up. Looks like he's swinging on this first pitch, and he drills that one deep to the alley. I don't know if Bond can chase it down. He does. All right, so 1 inning away now from clinching this series and moving to the championship series, which will be against the Cubs. They swept San Francisco pretty easily. So now we got Vega coming up. I would love to see more runs here. That's a liner to first, going to be caught. Colorado does have some good offense. I mean, they're not going to be an easy team to beat, even with that lead, I don't think. So Quartang draws a walk. Now Koopman up. Sanders is terrible at holding runners. You know what? I'm going to do a run and hit. I may regret this. And he's going to be in there. All right, so Quartang with the steal. Now Koopman has a chance to drive him in if he can do it. And that's a grounder to center. But Quartang doesn't come in. All right, so I was almost thinking about going with Scott for 2 innings, but we need to keep this going if we can. So who do I bring in here? I think it's going to be Tuck. Tuck, he can strike out. That's the only thing with him. But he might be swinging first bat. And he lines that one to left. That's going to bring in a run. So it's 7-3 now. So things really playing out for me in this game, the last 2 innings. Bond up now. He had that big double last inning. He strikes out here. That's going to bring in Gutierrez. 2 outs. And a wild pitch. Runners advance. It's second and third now with 2 outs. So a base hit here would potentially drive in a couple more runs. It's 2-0 to Gutierrez. And he's going to pop him up. All right, so we go to the 9th inning, needing just 3 outs to advance, to move to the league championship series. They're going to have the bottom of their lineup up. I think I'm going to go with Contreras here. Let me see how, or DeCluet. I'm going with DeClue at first. He's most rested, and let's just hope he hasn't pitched in the series. Let's hope that he's got enough to get us through this inning and the game. And that's going to be a liner to Koopman, who snags it, one away. Chris Speck. He's a neutral type hitter, but man, he's got some good numbers there. How is he against lefties? You know, I do have Morrison as my lefty specialist. I'm going to go for it. We got Taylor coming up after him. Morrison did not have a good year overall. I think he was better, though, in the second half of the season. Oh, man, that's a base hit. A base hit now with one away, one on first, Taylor up. And he strikes him out looking. And that's going to bring up Steve Martin. I'm going to go once again. And this time I'm going to go with Contreras. Let's hope that he can get it done for us. It's 2 away, 1 out. Away. Grounder to Gutierrez. He throws the second for the force, and we do it. Phillies beat Colorado 7-3. We advance to the league championship series. Wow. Great comeback. Great comeback from this team. So looking at the box score, some really key hits there in those last few innings. Tupper, that big home run, he drove in 3 for the game. Pritchard, 2 for 4. Pretty decent game from him, although I was riding him quite a bit. Bond scored a couple. But Koopman, 2 for 3. His average in the series at 462. That's incredible. And then Thompson, 2 for 2. Tuck with that big pinch hit. What was that, the 9th inning or 8th inning? Thompson did not get the win. He did give us 6 innings, though. The win went to Dean in relief. And we wound up using just about every pitcher there we had available, or at least we had rested. And player of the game is Sean Bedwell. Even though they lost, Bedwell was 2 for 4, drove in 3. And then Jamie Koopman got the MVP. That may be the first time I've seen him win that kind of award. Let me take a look at it. All right, so I'll just look at him from the lineup screen here. Okay, Koopman. Yeah, his first ever award. He's never made the All-Star teams or anything before, I don't think. Well, it would show if he'd had, but just to see, I want to see how his postseason numbers look. Yeah, he's a pretty good postseason hitter. Even though 2040 wasn't that great, the last 3 seasons, he's hitting .330 in the postseason. That's pretty good. I'm glad right now that I picked him back up. But now we move on, and it is going to be a tough test. Chicago, they're going to have home field advantage. 7-game series, though, a lot can happen in 7 games. But if you look at the way they went through San Francisco, you know, they're obviously back on a run, even though they ended the season off pretty rough. But here's the thing, though, and I thought this might be the case, but I wouldn't say owned Chicago, but we did really good against Chicago in the regular season. Played them 7 times, won 6. That might be a good sign. I'm hoping it is. I don't know when we played them, if it was early in the year or late in the season, but a lot of good performances here from key players in our lineup. Pritchard, Vega, and then pitching wise, looks like Zach Thompson was good against them. Pete Parker was good against them. On their side, I don't know. It looks like we got to just about every pitcher they had on their team, but hopefully that's a good sign. Stranger things have happened in this series. I've made it or not in this series, but in this game. I mean, I've made it in previous versions and playthroughs with Out of the Park Baseball. I've made it to the World Series as a wild card. Of course, that can happen in Major League Baseball too, but Here's hoping that we got a chance. I'm going to take a look at the news, and then we'll get ready for that next series. And like I did here, I will go through, play until we get to a clinching game, and then I'll be back with the next episode. And hopefully you'll be back with me. And gosh, if we could make the World Series and win it this year, that would be a miracle, I think. But as always, thanks for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting, and I will see you next episode.